Hey guys, and welcome to another episode of my Newsflash segment. I actually wasn't going to film this today, but I decided to because a couple notable things happened, and I wanted to share them with you. First off, last night I received an email just before 10 p.m. from Amazon, specifically about Amazon Smile. It read, "Dear customer, in 2013, we launched Amazon Smile to make it easier for customers to support their favorite charities. However, after almost a decade, the program has not grown to create the impact that we had originally hoped. With so many eligible organizations, more than 1 million globally, our ability to have an impact was often spread too thin. We are writing to let you know that we plan to wind down Amazon Smile by February 20th, 2023. That's only a month away. We will continue to pursue and invest in other areas where we've seen we can make meaningful change, from building affordable housing to providing access to computer science education for students in underserved communities, to using our logistics infrastructure and technology to assist broad communities impacted by natural disasters. To help charities that have been part of the Amazon Smile program with this transition, we will be providing them with a one-time donation equivalent to 3 months of what they earned in 2022 through the program. And they will also be able to accrue additional donations until the program officially closes in February. Once Amazon Smile closes, charities will be able to seek support from Amazon customers by creating their own wish lists. As a company, we will continue supporting a wide range of other programs that help thousands of charities and communities across the U.S. For instance, Housing Equity Fund. We're investing $2 billion to build and preserve affordable housing in our hometown communities. In just 2 years, we've provided funding to create more than 14,000 affordable homes, and we expect to build at least 6,000 more in the coming months. These units will host more than 18,000 moderate to low-income families, many of them with children. In 1 year alone, our investments will have been able to increase the affordable housing stock in communities like Bellevue, Washington, and Arlington, Virginia, by at least 20%. Amazon Future Engineer. We've funded computer science curriculum for more than 600,000 students across over 5,000 schools, all in underserved communities. We have plans to reach an additional 1 million students this year. We've also provided immediate assistance to 55,000 students in our hometown communities by giving them warm clothes for the winter, food, and school supplies. Community Delivery Program. We've partnered with food banks in 35 U.S. cities to deliver more than 23 million meals, using our logistics infrastructure to help families in need access healthy food, and we plan to deliver 12 million more meals this year alone. In addition to our delivery services, we've also donated 30 million meals in communities across the country. The list goes on to list Amazon Disaster Relief and the Community Giving Program. And then it sums up by saying, we'll continue working to make a difference in many ways, and our long-term commitment to our communities remains the same. We're determined to do every day better for our customers, our employees, and the world at large. Thank you for being an Amazon customer." Here's the thing. I don't buy that email. I can't say what their motivation is, but the fact of the matter is, those donations they listed at the end of the email were things they were already doing. They didn't need to take away from the Amazon Smile program. And as far as I'm concerned, taking away the Amazon Smile program is actually hurting a lot of the smaller organizations that really needed help. For example, the PTA at my local school. They're going to lose funding from Amazon Smile, which means they're going to be losing that extra $1,500 a year that they get from that program. And as far as PTA goes, that's often a lot, especially in underserved communities. But it's more than that. If you can think of it, they're probably affected. So we go PTA, homeless shelters, food banks, everything you could imagine. They're going to lose a lot of funding. And the thing is, these were already tax write-offs for Amazon, so it's not like they were already losing the money. They're going to be redirecting these funds somewhere else. So yeah, no, they weren't spread too thin to make a difference. They were making a difference, and they were letting the people vote where to make a difference. Now they're taking that away from the people, and they're going to put their money wherever they want it, if they're even going to use it for charity. And as far as donating to affordable housing in areas such as their hometown communities, what they're meaning by that is the cities that they are local to, where they have offices. I'm from one of those areas, and I can tell you that what they've done doesn't make a darn difference. It didn't stop gentrification. I mean, it's a joke, really. So I guess I can give them points for sending out an email ahead of time, giving notice. But at the same time, this is just greedy Amazon being greedy Amazon. They were helping people. They were helping local organizations who needed it most. And now they're taking it away for their own greed, in my opinion. I can't prove that, but I mean, if you're taking something away from people who are relying on it, and then you're going to use it for whatever it is you want to do, that seems like greed to me. But you know what's not greedy is smashing the like button and hitting subscribe. That really helps with the algorithm, and it makes it possible for me to grow my channel and share my videos with more people like you. I thought maybe we could also talk about eggs. I know that that's been a big thing in the news lately, and everybody's been feeling it whenever they go to the grocery store. But I lost my patience, quite frankly. So I don't know how expensive eggs are in your area. Please tell me in the comments below. At my local Walmart, it was $5.50 for cage-free brown eggs. And I only know that because those were the only ones left. And I had to break through basically a mosh pit of old ladies just to get those eggs, because they were not buying those eggs. They did not want them. They were mad and they were frustrated and they wanted their cheap old eggs that were $2.50. Okay, I think they were $3.50 because I distinctly remember it being a $2 difference. And I'm like, excuse me, ladies, I just want to get my eggs. It's not worth it to deal with all ya. So I'm gonna pay the $2. Can you tell me, what is the big deal about $2? Is it worth it to put up a fight in Walmart over $2? I can't relate. I understand, especially senior citizens, maybe they are on fixed income, but still, you can't scrounge up $2 this one time, this 1 week. I mean, it was a ridiculous show. So yeah, like everybody else, I hope the price of eggs comes down. I don't know if that's going to be happening soon. I hear it's because of a massive bird flu that's going around, the likes of which we've never had before in our poultry industry. So I hope that gets under control. I do know that when it does, it's probably going to take time. It's not going to fix itself immediately. And then that coupled with inflation, I mean, who really knows what price they're going to be? Maybe we won't see them go down again. I'm not trying to put fear in you right now, but often companies, when they raise prices, it's like, why would we lower them? So that's it for the egg saga right now. But customers fighting over eggs wasn't the only thing that was being fought over. On Wednesday, Bank of America was trending. And honestly, when Bank of America trends, it's usually not a good thing. Am I right? Apparently, customers all over were reporting that their money was just gone, like disappeared. Like they had over $1,000 in their account the night before. The next morning, it was gone. And while I was reading about this, I saw a video of these people and I was like, oh, it's probably just like 1 or 2 people getting a Zelle scam, because we hear about those all the time, right? But no, I saw the video and there was a good 10 people sitting in the lobby. Every single one of them, their money was just gone, vanished. And so I was getting really fearful for these people. But I mean, I guess if this is going to happen, it's going to happen at Bank of America. By the evening, it turns out the issue was resolved. Customers still don't really have a true explanation of what happened. And that doesn't surprise me because, again, it's Bank of America. They're kind of shady if you haven't noticed. Maybe not as bad or as blatantly shady as Wells Fargo, but bad enough that I personally left them over 12 years ago. And if you haven't yet, I highly recommend you look for a local credit union. In my experience, I've had a couple credit unions that I've worked with. They have the absolute best customer service, so please give them a shot if you can. I couldn't recommend anything more than that. But I digress. By the evening, customers never really had an answer. They still don't. Customers were told by Bank of America that it was a problem with Zelle. So customers reached out to Zelle, and Zelle's team said it was a problem with Bank of America. So nobody is owning up to the real issue that's happened. Doesn't give a whole confidence in your banking institution, if you ask me. And as far as Zelle goes, we've just had so many issues with them. It's not even funny. I wish people would not use it. In fact, when they first introduced it, I remember it just showed up as a link in my bank. And I was like, what is this? This is weird. And they couldn't really explain it to me what it was at the time. The little bit that I did read about it, I was not comfortable with it. So I've personally never used Zelle, not even when it was first introduced. But having read about all the experiences that everybody's gone through over the last couple years, I won't ever touch it. There are just so many other payment forms that are safer and more predictable. I'm not an expert, so I can't personally give you advice, but I would say don't use Zelle. Nothing good comes from Zelle. With that said, I'm glad that the customers got their money back, but I'm not happy with the lack of answers that they've received, and I really wish that Bank of America would be held more accountable for what happened. Transparency is key, especially when you are holding people's money, their entire livelihoods in these digital accounts. It's just wrong. But at least Disney's CEO, which if you haven't heard about the Disney saga, we have the old CEO who had run the company for over 20 years. He retired and he came back just after a year or two to replace the new guy that they fired. Both guys' names, Bob. Bob retired, Bob got hired, Bob got fired, Bob got rehired. We got the good Bob back, and he's trying to fix the mistakes that bad Bob made. Just for clarification, their names are Bob Iger and Bob Chapek. Bob Chapek is the one who just recently got fired and let go with a $22 million compensation package. Seems like pretty good pay for messing up one of the biggest companies in the world. But he only did that in part because he was getting so much pressure from an activist investor. And if you don't know what that is, and I'm going to really generalize this, that's when somebody starts to buy enough shares in a company so that they can try to take control in a way that they have a prominent position. This investor's trying to get a seat on the board so that they can help control the company in a direction that they want to take it. So it's not quite a hostile takeover, but it can, in a sense, feel like that. Anyway, this guy's been a little rude, and he's a big reason why you are paying so much more for your tickets at Disneyland, and why the food sizes have shrunk at Disneyland, and why the rides are broken pretty much a lot of the time now. But Bob Iger, good Bob, who grew the company over the last almost 20 years with the values that clients and customers grew to know and love and trust. Trust is a big word here. They basically lost customer trust over the last several years because of these really kind of selfish moves. Bob Iger decided to announce, he has a good way of doing this, as clapping back essentially at this activist investor. He said a statement in a meeting that the investor doesn't understand how the company works, and quite frankly, he doesn't. Disney is the happiest place on earth, and while they should be making money, it's always been customer oriented. You want to make sure everybody is happy. But with the actions that were taken, it's really just been feeling like Disney's become a sellout. They've gone more about corporate values, which is make a quick buck any way you can. Let's keep the prices the same, but decrease the value of what we've been giving to the customer. No. In what world? Like, I regularly go off on this to my husband. I'm always yelling, even before the shrinkflation got really bad. I'm like, no, don't make the product worse. Charge more for the product. If you're making the product worse, you're losing the trust of the customer. Why are they going to stay? Why are they even going to spend the money if you're not keeping the product that they fell in love with? It's just basic. But so many companies make that mistake. I've seen it in the restaurant industry. I've seen it in just regular retail and manufactured goods. I don't know why they're doing what they're doing. Disney had such high expectations because they set the bar for theme parks. You were paying to get a certain level of customer service that you could not get anywhere else, that you could not get at Six Flags. Okay? So why, when the new guy comes in, he thinks, oh, let's save a buck, bring down employee morale, let's, betray all of our customers, but we totally expect to keep bringing money in. Totally nutso. I'm so glad that Bob Iger called that guy out. I don't know how this is going to play out. I don't know if that guy is going to manage to squeeze his butt into the board, but I know that he does not have the best interest of the customers and the kids and the people that love Disney. He has the best interest of himself and his hedge fund. That is what his interest is. So I guess we're going to just see over the next couple years, because Bob Iger's not going to stick around for a whole lot longer. He always has a way of saying the truth, but without fully upsetting people. I'm so happy he called him out. I hope that he can handle this. I hope to see Disney back to what it used to be. And I hope to be able to share that with my kids who haven't actually gotten to see Disney as I would have known it. Now that's all the news I have today, but I want you to know that I'm coming out with a new video soon all about the Amex Platinum card. So I hope you'll stick around. Click the subscribe button so you can see it when it comes out. But until then, I will see you next time.